Last year, the Jammers became a Pirate affiliate. The Jammers organization has a lot of different programs and things they can do around employees and employers. And we urge all of you business owners out there to take advantage of those options and take in a game. It's inexpensive entertainment. These are young professional athletes that you may very well see in a Pirate uniform someday.
What a beautiful day, and just baseball's in the air, and just to see the turnout of people from the local area is exciting for me as a general manager for the baseball team in the area, to see everybody come out and support the Jammers, support the Pirates. I want to thank Steve for coming up.
Well, that was pretty wonderful, and in fact, that's the first time I've been introduced in the last 20 years without getting booed. So at 10 o'clock down this little apartment, the phone rings. My wife answers and says hello, and this male voice says, "I need to speak to Steve." She says, "Well, he was up in Syracuse last night. He's a professional athlete, and I was on a bus all night, and he's sleeping because they traveled all night, and I'm not going to wake him up." He said, "I really need to talk to him." She said, "Listen, mister, did you just hear what I said? He's a professional athlete, and he needs his rest. He's been traveling all night, and I am not going to wake him up." And then that voice said, "Mrs. Blass, my name is Joe Brown. I'm the general manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and we want Steve to come up and pitch for the Pirates." And the next thing you heard in that apartment was, "Get your ass out of bed, we're going to play." One of my first starts, might not have been the first one, but I had a chance to pitch against Sandy Koufax, and I got very excited. I called everybody, my family back in Falls Village, Connecticut, small town. Only took about 3 dimes back then. And I told Mom and Dad, I said, "I'm pitching Saturday night. It's going to be against Koufax, and tune in early because I'm not sure how long I'm going to be around." So Saturday comes, and I want to tell you how nervous I was. It was a 7 o'clock game, and I got the ballpark at noon. And, you know, the adrenaline's going. Finally, it's time to warm up. I'm down the right field line at Forbes Field. I'm throwing as hard as I can. And at that point, Sandy Koufax came up out of the Dodgers dugout, picked up a ball, went down to the dugout, and the first pitch he threw was faster than I'd never seen anything in my life. And at that point, Bill Mazeroski came up in the back of me, tapped me on the shoulder, pointed to Koufax and said, "Pitch a shutout, kid, and we'll play for a tie." I was sent down to the Florida Winter Instructional League, which is a league that takes place after a regular season, whether it's major leagues or minor leagues. You take your highly regarded prospects and you send them down to Florida, and you go over a lot of the fundamentals that will apply all through the Pirate organization, so that if you're in the minor leagues, when you get to Pittsburgh, you'll know some of these plays. And so we worked a lot about all those things and fundamentals. And while we're down there working on them, the Pirates signed a boy by the name of Harold Clem. And he was everything that a Harold Clem should be. Tall farm boy from Iowa, could throw a cherry through a battleship. Pirates signed him to a professional contract and sent him down to the instructional league. Well, of course, we played all the tricks on him that you play on rookies. We sent him after left-handed bats. We sent him for the key to the batter's box. The problem was he found these things, you see. Should have known Harold was So now we got Harold and the whole crew on an afternoon, hot afternoon down in Pirate City. We're sitting out in the outfield grass. Our manager sits us all down, and we go over one of our very basic defensive Pittsburgh Pirate defensive plays. And we spent 2 hours out there. And it's very simple, and it involves our defense when we know a team's going to try a double steal. You know, double steal. Guys on first, guys on third. When our pitcher throws the pitch, the guy from first takes off for second. The catcher throws it down to second. While he's doing that, the guy from third steals home. That's a double steal. We have a very simple play to defend that, the double steal. And we're not trying to, you know, house the homeless, feed the hungry. 2 hours out there. And it's very simple. When we are in the field and we find out that our opponents are going to try the double steal with their runners on first and third, we alert everybody, okay? And so when our pitcher goes into the stretch, he throws the pitch, the guy takes off from first to steal second, right? So when he takes off, the catcher gets the pitch and guns it through like he's going to throw to second. But the key is for our pitcher just to reach up, pick it off, throw it right back to the catcher, and you get the guy coming in from third base. Not rocket science. 2 hours in the hot sun. 2 hours. The next day, as fate would have it, we're playing the White Sox over in Sarasota. We've got them 2-1 in the bottom of the ninth. They're hitting the bottom ninth. They've got runners on first and third with 2 outs. And we've got fabulous Harold Clem out on the mound. And Harold's enjoying himself. He's watching the airplanes land at Sarasota International. He's watching the grass grow there. And he's better working on that farm back in Iowa. And at that point, we find out they're going to try the double steal, the White Sox. This is great. 2 hours yesterday, we worked on our play. So our manager gives our defensive play signal to the infield. They've got it. The outfielders have got it. The catcher's got it. The parking lot attendant across the street has got it. We are so ready for these guys. Fabulous Harold goes into the stretch, throws the pitch, the runner takes off from first to steal second, the catcher races up, guns it through, and Harold ducks. We still got a chance because our second baseman very alertly cuts across in front of second, picks it off, guns it back to the catcher, and now Harold's got it. Harold's got it. Harold's back in Iowa now. We left right after we had the services for the manager, so I hope he's doing well. Manny Sanguian. Every time you see him, he's got this big smile on his face. Everybody that plays Major League Baseball loves to play the game, or you wouldn't have gotten there. But there are some guys that wear that on their sleeve. Anytime you watch Manny Sanguian playing, you knew that he was having the time of his life. I had the honor of pitching to Manny Sanguian when he caught his first Major League game. I go out to start the bottom of the first inning, talk about bang, 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 2 base hits and a walk. I got the bases loaded. I think I can still hear the anthem. It's that quick. And now there's nobody out. There's the bases loaded, and Ernie Banks is coming to the plate. Hall of Famer, over 500 home runs. And I'm in a jam. And now Manny Sanguian, at that point, bases loaded, nobody out, his first Major League catching experience, turns around the umpire and has his first Major League pitchers conference. Turns around, time out, comes trotting out, lifts his mask up, got a big smile on his face, says, "Oh, you know," and then he goes back. So he goes down and puts one finger down. I threw a fastball, and Ernie hits it into Lake Michigan. I guess at that point I did know. But it gets worse because now we go down to Atlanta. 5 days later, it's my turn to pitch again, and Manny's going to have his second Major League catching assignment. Lucky me. So we go out, same thing, deja vu. Bang, 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 they get us out. I go out the bottom of the first. Base hit, walk, infield single. Bases loaded again, nobody out. Only it's not Ernie Banks this time. It's Henry. Hank Henry. How good is that? So at that point, Manny decides to have his second ever Major League Pitchers Conference. Turns around the umpire. Here he comes. Mask up. Big smile on his face. Says, "Oh, you throw a double play. Like you can call Sears and order a double play." That's it. So he goes back down, he puts 3 fingers down for the slider. So I wind up, I let go of the ball. Do you ever have those dreams where everything slows down? I let go of the ball, and as the ball gets closer and closer to Henry, Henry's eyes get bigger, bigger, and he just crushes the ball. But he doesn't get under, line drive to left field, left center field, knocks about 3 bricks out of the wall, Fulton County Stadium. All 3 runners score. Henry's on second, 3-run double, Sanguine. Here he comes. Lifts a mask, big smile on his face. "I don't say double, I say double play." But did I ever hit a home run? Thank you very much, Greg, for that. I did hit one. It was, God, so long ago I hardly remember any of the details. It was September 5th, 1969. At Wrigley Field, the temperature is 74 degrees, winds out of the west at about 5 miles per hour. 47% Ken Holtzman was a pitcher. The runners on first and second. 23,412. The rest of it's kind of vague, but thanks. The really neat thing is that's the only true story I tell. But the great thing was running down the first baseline, the coach said, "Take a left," because I'd always